I recently bought this thing. Some call it a pop filter, foam cover, windscreen cover. There's a bunch of names for it. I bought this because before I was using my microphone naked like this. And when you record yourself, sometimes there's gonna be little bursts of wind as you exhale, and it's gonna sound like this with your time and with your YouTube channel. If your goal is really new tricks. So I hope you guys don't give up with your own. So the good news is if you have this issue with your microphone, you don't need to buy a whole new one. You just need to buy one of these mic covers. So buying a mic cover is not really hard, but I couldn't find a lot of good videos online giving tips on this. So I thought I would make my own video sharing what I learned. So you want to make sure you're buying a mic cover that's compatible with your specific mic. So in my case, it's a H4n Pro. So I typed that plus mic cover in Amazon. And right away, you can tell we have a lot of choices and a lot of them are quite cheap. These prices are in Canadian dollars, so I assume this is even cheaper in USD. But one thing that's a bit annoying is a lot of these don't really have a ton of reviews. And if you're like me, I like to make sure that I'm buying something that works. Also, there's two types of microphone covers. There's these black foam ones, mostly used to reduce the little bursts of wind I showed you in the beginning of the video from P and T words. And then there's these furry ones, which are actually more designed to block the sound of wind when you're filming outdoors. So it was a bit tricky to choose a mic cover because there was not a ton of good info out there for me. I ended up choosing this one from Geekria, mostly because it was cheap, $15, and you get two mic covers. So I thought if I end up losing one, I'll still have a backup. So this is what it looks like, pretty faithful to the screenshots on their page. Very easy to put on. Personally, I think it looks a little ugly still, but that's kind of a problem with my recorder in general. It's just a bit bulky. But now let's move on to what really matters, and it's the sound test. And I wish there was some sort of before-after sample on their Amazon page, but there's not. So here it is for you guys. So this is what my recorder sounds like when I don't use a mic cover. And now I'm gonna test the P sounds because words with the letter P tend to have these puffing sounds. And that's when we get these annoying bursts of wind which are messing up my recordings. And finally, I'm gonna do the wind blowing test. So I'm gonna blow on the microphone to simulate as if we're outside and it's a bit windy. All right, so that was a bit rough. So now let's try the same thing, but with the mic cover on. If I start saying P words and make the P sounds very often with these gusts of wind, it shouldn't be so bad and it shouldn't pop as much as it was before. So this works exactly as intended. It doesn't affect how your microphone sounds in general, but we'll just fix those P sounds. Finally, let's try the wind blowing test and see how much this little foam thing can handle. All right, so as you can tell, this $15 foam cover will not perform miracles when you're in a very windy situation, but it's still an improvement from before. Let me play the two versions back to back so you can really compare. So yeah, that's what you get for $15. Personally, I think it's really worth it, mostly for the P sounds like I said before. At that price, to me, it's a no-brainer and can really save some of your recordings. I hope this video was useful for you. Thanks so much for watching and see you next time.